Hey you guys, so if you seen my last video, we did this cute Milky White set on my left hand, and today we're going to be doing my right hand with my non-dominant hand using press-ons. So that is what we're going to do, and let's just hop into the video. We're going to start off by taking these Una Gela false nails. They are full cover tips, and I use these only for press-ons as of right now anyway, and they work pretty good. I really don't do press-ons too much, so I can't tell you how they differ from other ones because these are the only ones that I have. But I just went ahead and sized each finger, and after I sized each finger, I went ahead and I cut them to about the same size as my left hand, but I wanted to make them a little longer just because I knew that there would be some more filing, and I would just cut the remainder when they are actually placed on the little tip stand. So if you were not tuned into my last video, I highly suggest you go check that out. But if you did not see it already, we are using not polished Milky White acrylic. And I had some issues with the acrylic applying when I was doing my overlay on my other hand. But for some reason, it was working really good for me today. So I don't know what that was, you guys. I think, again, it's just me, user error. So the ratio was coming out pretty well. They were applying pretty quickly. I did these in about 15 minutes, honestly. And that's pretty quick for me because it takes me a long time to apply acrylic. So, yeah, that is what I'm doing right here. And I am just applying it. And the only thing that I would do differently if I had to do it again, because this is my first time actually doing full-on press-ons with acrylic. I usually just do gel polish, but this is my first time really doing them to wear with acrylic. So the only thing that I would do differently next time is I will not be putting as much acrylic near the cuticle area on the tip, just because I feel like I had to do excessive filing at the end just because I placed so much acrylic towards the cuticle area on this false tip. So that is one thing that I will say don't do as you see me doing it. Do not do that, because I would definitely change that. But other than that, it was pretty much an easy process of laying the acrylic, and I was pretty happy the way they came out. I do wish they were a little more on the slimmer side, but I will get to that in a few minutes. So now that we have all the press-ons made, I went ahead and I trimmed my nails down really short. I always cut my nails down super short when I'm getting false nails at all, like any type of false nails. I always like my nails super short just for my own personal preference. And I went ahead and I filed them with the Tammy Taylor Peel and Stick file, 100 grit. And right now I'm going back and I'm pushing my cuticles back. And really, I did this, you do this to get the cleanest look for the press-ons, just because press-ons can come off really bulky and look really fake if they are not placed on correctly. So that's what I'm doing there. And then I'm just taking my 240 sanding band. This is the softest grit that I have, or the finest grit I should say, that I have for my sanding bands, and that's the only one that I use now on the natural nail. And I'm just going ahead and I actually just use this to buff the nails and clean my cuticles, because I didn't feel it was necessary for the short-term press-ons. I didn't feel the need to do my usual, which is using the cuticle bit and the other drill bits that I use to clean up my cuticles. So I just went ahead and I used a sanding band to go ahead and get any little dead skin that I did have. And you guys, this was super hard for me. I'm not left-handed on it, obviously, and doing my right hand was really hard. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, it was hard. Like, the filing was the hardest part, of course, and just keeping a steady hand is super hard. You don't want to cut yourself, and you don't want to like nick yourself or hit your cuticles. So be very gentle. Take as much time as you need. I was going super slow. That's why I sped a lot of this video up, because I was just really taking my time, making sure I didn't have any mishaps and cut myself or, you know, damage my nail or my cuticle at all. So that's what I was doing right there. And then I'm just wiping all the dust and everything off to get a clean surface. And I'm taking all my press-ons and I'm going ahead and I'm filing each individual press-on to be the shape and form of my natural nail. Now for me, this was, I'm not going to say it's hard, because I'm sure with practice, you can get them to fit perfectly. And once you know your nail bed and how they should look and the size, and you do it so much, it's probably just going to go way smoother the more you do it. So right here, I was just fitting it on after I filed it a little bit, but I felt that it was still a little wide on the left side or the right side. So I was just going ahead and filing a little bit more off of that side. And I did this a couple times and I placed it back on to check to see how it was fitting. And you see how the side of that looks perfect, but on the left side, it didn't look, it was coming off like it was too wide on the left side. So I think I took this one back off and I ended up filing the left side. Yep. I ended up filing the left side a little more down. And I think after this, I was done and I was ready to glue the press-on on. So I went ahead and I used some Macart glue to put on my nail bed, and you see me pushing the tip, like I slide it and I push it kind of into my cuticle area. I do that personally because I like for it to look like it's coming out of my cuticle. Like I like a seamless look, or as seamless as I can get it. And yeah, I just go ahead and I literally do exactly the same thing to all of my nails, you guys. Like I do the same exact thing that you just saw me do with the thumb. I do it to all of the press-ons. And I made sure that you see how I am, well, towards the end of this nail, you'll see how I take the cuticle area on the actual tip, and I'm trying to make sure that most of them are flatter than the rest of the nail. And I also do that to just help it, you know, be a little more seamless when going up against the cuticle area. So that's what I do. And like I said, next time I will just make sure that it's not as bulky in the cuticle area. And I also file it like that. Like you see how I'm curving it like that, because I want it to fit the shape of my cuticle area. You don't want that part to be wide and your cuticle area is not wide on your fingernail. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want it to not match. So it needs to look natural, and to get the most natural look, you want that area to be as form-fitting as you can get it. So y'all, I end up on the last two fingernails, I end up putting some base gel because I don't know what I was doing just putting just straight glue on my nail tips. Like, I mean, you can do that and they'll probably last way longer. But I know I just want these to last like a week or two, and then I'm taking them off probably and going back to long nails. But most people put base coat on their nail, on their natural nail bed, and then they cure it, let it dry or whatever, and then they will go ahead and go in with applying the nail glue and then the tip. So that's how you usually do it. That's how most people do it. But I don't know what I did on the first three fingers. I was just not thinking, and it really doesn't matter, I guess. Like either way, I'm gonna take them off however it may. But I feel like the base coat actually protects your natural nail a little more than just applying straight nail glue to your natural nail and then the tip, versus the base gel, then the glue, and then the tip. Because when you take off the tip, the nail glue is going to be attached to the base gel and not your natural nail. So that is the proper way to do it. But I mean, if you don't, it's not going to kill you. Right here, I'm just taking my Pana 8080 grit file, and I'm filing the nails down, and I'm trying to just pretty much debulk with a manual file versus the e-file, because I just didn't feel like I was going to have too much control using an e-file with my non-dominant hand. So I didn't even attempt to do that, y'all. Like, that's going to come in the future. But for right now, we're going to use the manual file because I do not want to butcher my fingers. So I went ahead and I did a little filing. I'm taking my 5-in-1 bit. You can find these on Amazon. I will definitely make you all my Amazon storefront, because I'm starting to get a lot of questions about what bits and files that I'm using. And the bits I usually get, I think I've gotten all of my bits off of Amazon thus far. So and these actual tips, the full cover tips, are actually from Amazon as well. So my Pana file is from Amazon. I get a lot of stuff from Amazon. If it's not Shein, it's Amazon. So I'm definitely going to in the near future make you all a storefront Amazon cart, so that y'all can just click on that and see everything that I use and everything that I like to use from Amazon as far as nails are concerned. So right here, I am just filing down my cuticles and sealing the cuticles, and this was super hard for me. I did not have a steady hand. I mean, when it comes to my left hand, I don't use it for pretty much anything, you know? So this was hard. Like, trying to do your nails in general, your own nails in general, is hard. So just imagine using your non-dominant hand to do a whole set. Like, that's crazy. But anyway, I got it done. And I did over file the cuticle area on my ring finger. And y'all will see that in a few minutes. I do show it. But I ended up, if you saw in the beginning, I ended up putting just little stones on it. And the reason why I didn't go back and put acrylic on it or more acrylic on it is because, for one, I just didn't feel like taking all that stuff back out. And two, these have tips underneath it. So I just didn't. I felt like they were secure and they weren't really going to go anywhere. So I just covered it up with rhinestones. Now, right here, I am showing you all how I get my tips to be super, super straight. Instead of using a hand file, go ahead and I actually recommend this one or the, it's like a straight barrel bit, or not the mandrel. It's like a straight barrel bit. And I will have to show y'all that. It's really sharp though. And the other one does not have a safety. The other one is not a safety bit, but this one right here is my 5-in-1 bit. And I use that to make them super straight. You see how straight those came out? So I do recommend it. And here's another view. I put it in a little slower motion for you all to get a real close up look. And that's pretty much all I do. I just make sure that I'm holding it steady and straight, and it kind of hugs it. That's what I like about the 5-in-1 bit. It really hugs it to the point where you don't have to do much. You just need to hold it there. And you do apply a little pressure, like pushing it in to make it go in more until you want it to stop. But that's pretty much it. Then I went ahead and buffed the nails, and I am cleaning it with a alcohol wipe right now, just getting everything off. And this nail right here, you can see what I'm talking about. I put a close-up on it. I've over-filed the acrylic off pretty much in the cuticle area, so that was a lesson learned. But I was like, what can I do to fix it? So I just went ahead and I ended up putting rhinestones on it. But before I did that, I went ahead and got my top coat that I used on my previous hand, on my left hand, and I got the same top coat, my favorite top coat right now. This is the Dynamic Nail Supply. It's called Diamond Gel top coat, I think, but on the website it also says it's like tempered glass top coat or something like that. But anyway, nonetheless, it's super, super shiny, like super shiny. I love how it cures. And yeah, I love everything about this top coat, and I definitely need to order more because I keep talking about it, and I hope y'all don't like buy it all up. So right here, I am just going ahead and I am placing the rhinestones on the finger that I told y'all gave me some issues and that I need to cover it up. So I'm going ahead and doing that. And I'm just using the Young Nails nail glue, which I do not recommend. Use diamond glue. This was super messy, so I would never do that again using this sticky nail glue. And it dries way too fast for how slow I work. So yeah, but that's what I went ahead and did. And I went ahead and put all the stones on. And I also did the other hand, and I added stones to the other hand just so they would match. I didn't want this to look weird and just have stones on my right hand. And that was pretty much it, you guys. So after I completed that, they were fully done, and that is really all I did. So these were pretty easy, but they were also kind of hard, but they are a great way to go ahead and make your set complete. If you're not comfortable applying acrylic directly to your natural nail using your non-dominant hand, definitely go ahead and start doing press-ons. Make press-ons for your other hand, and this is how they came out. So this is how they looked, and they were good enough for me, you guys. So now I don't have to have one hand done and one hand not done. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment and subscribe if you are not already subscribed. And I will see y'all in my next video. All right, bye. Love y'all. Mwah.